Alright, I left early this morning, heading downstate, had about a 6-hour drive, a couple of short stops, and just got back out here to the Amish farm. I was here earlier in the turkey season when there was no standing corn, there wasn't anything planted or growing. In fact, the Amish hadn't even taken it over yet. They just got this new farm. We've been hunting their old farm for a couple decades, since I was a kid, and got a new farm, and I think the general consensus is for deer hunting, it's better for sure. So I'm just driving back on it right now, just rolling hills, crop fields, seeing what's where. We're getting back in. There's a high ridge on the back with some really mature pines, big tall pines, and then it drops down, headed down into the creek on the other end. And on this side of that ridge, between this and the corn, all the crop fields, is real thick. Got a line of apple trees growing on the side of the hill. It looks just awesome. So we're headed back in there right now. We're gonna take a quick walk. It's middle of the day. Before I go and set up on Dale's property, heading out here, I got 2 cameras. I'm gonna stick 2 cameras out, take a quick walk around, and get set up for a little bit later in the week. It's just an awesome spot. I think it's definitely got potential to shoot a real nice buck. Back in here looking for a spot to stick a stand. Got a big sandy spot back here. We got big buck tracks, we got coyote tracks, we got turkey tracks, and just looking for a halfway decent tree to maybe get up in. Walking into the pines here. Here, follow me. There's some good sign.
Oh darn, I didn't even see that.
You got pin on it?
Yeah.
A little forky, no brow.
No.
Just walking this ditch here through the property. The crop fields are all over on this side. The ridge, the tall mature pines are on this side, and then it drops off into a run of thick stuff. And there is just a line of trails, scrapes coming out of this from the east to west. Trails just intersecting all over, but they're all heading the same direction, right out to the corn, which this is kind of the corner of the woods out here, right? And then the woods back there, the big woods continues to the west.
Yeah.
That line of woods, it pinches right down to probably a couple hundred yards wide.
And this runs right into like a 400 or 500 acre, great big mature trees, rolling hills, hardwoods.
And the creek, which
The
creek crosses the road up here, and then the creek jets over, and this is the closest point the creek comes, is right where this ridge and this ditch kind of peters out, runs right toward the creek. So I mean, all these scrapes, there's gonna be a couple dandy bucks roaming through here in the next week. But the tree situation is pretty lousy. All right, just getting set up here for the first sit. Parking right up at the road here. Plenty of traffic going by. Good place to park. No intrusion on the property. I walked straight up through the field here and then through the pines. We got a west-southwest wind, which is a little questionable for the spot I was kind of preferring to go this evening. If it was, straight south, southeast would be okay. Southwest is a no-go. I kind of expect them to come out of the bottom, or possibly straight from the east. Hopefully the wind don't mess with me. I think it's about as good as it can get for this spot. Anyway, I gotta get in there. Pretty sure I smoked him. So I'll come back out here to the Amish farm again this morning. Kind of a last minute decision. I was actually headed over to Dale's property and changed my mind at the last minute. I thought the wind was going to be more easterly, but I got here and it was southwest. I must be confused with what's going on tomorrow. The wind wasn't great for where that buck come out, but I look off to my left here and he's coming down the edge of the corn. He got to the corner of the cornfield here, so at that point it's either walk out into the field straight out in front of me or continue on the wood line along the edge of the corn there. There's a scrape just up ahead of me here, about 25 yards away. So I don't know if he's gonna go visit that or just going along the edge of the corn, but either way, I got a shot. It's probably high lungs. That's what I'm hoping. He didn't run real hard. I didn't hear a bunch of thrashing or crashing. I didn't see him exit the cornfield. Well, I think he's down, but just to be sure, it's real early yet. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it out for another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It's a good morning. It worked out good. This tree line right here goes out to the road, and it's all scraped and rubbed up. I mean, just big scrape that's been freshened up pretty regular, and a couple of huge rubs. Same thing over this way. It continues to the north. Anyway, no rush. He looked decent. You know, he wasn't real big or anything, but I'm running out of time, so I told myself the first halfway decent buck that comes by, or a big doe, I'm gonna go ahead and let him have it. And that's what happened. Got a tractor going back here behind me. The Amish just started picking corn up toward the farm, kind of the opposite corner of this cornfield here. So I'm gonna stick it out a while. They might potentially push something my way. Anyway, I did not have a camera arm, except for this thing right here. It's a GoPro snake arm with a cell phone attachment. I called my dad. He's gonna come out here at 9:15. And nice looking scrape right there. It's freshened up on a very regular basis. Got a couple pretty nice bucks on there. One with a goofy club and a couple of flyers coming off his rack. Dad saw me get down. He's pulling back right now. Big bucks, hey, big bucks. All right, there's the stand right there. Good. Yeah, that arrow's just totally soaked. Completely soaked.
Should we be kicked up right there?
Yeah. Completely soaked. Blood splatter right where he stood. Blood all over the corn. It's all the hair. Something got into him. You're kidding me. Oh, sick.
Jeez. Well, that happened quick. You never heard the coyotes or nothing?
No. All right, well, here we are. We just got him out of the corn there. We only tracked him, gosh, I don't know, from where I shot him, it couldn't have been much more than about 40, 45 yards. About 60 yards from where I was sitting in the tree. And pretty discouraged to walk up on him and see that the coyote had actually gotten to him. Didn't do a ton of damage. I mean, mostly ribs, a little bit of that hind quarter. So there's still plenty to salvage, but can't believe it. It was dead calm, very, very quiet too. Never heard any of that going on, but just a small 8-point. I'm not being too picky. Only got a few days left here, and need to make something happen. Want to get at least one butchered out and in the cooler, something to take home. So.